Okay, let's go to water scheduling now and talk a little bit about water scheduling. Well, the first thing we got to have is crop data. We have to know this CU, okay? We got to know that consumptive use. To be able to water schedule, we have to know on a daily basis what that consumptive use is. And we keep adding it up. What the practice is you chart it. You chart what is going out of the soil in consumptive use, and you chart what's going in due to irrigation. And you have a balance point. And that balance point is field capacity. So we're going to work from field capacity, and we're going to start taking away from field capacity. And after we take so much away from field capacity, we irrigate, and we fill it back up. So we have our monthly, you know, just like you work out of your checkbook with your monthly budget. You start with your paycheck in there, and you start spending it down. You're spending it down, spending it down. And hopefully, by the time you're down to $0, you get another paycheck, fills the checkbook back up with money. So you can start spending it down again. And that's just what we're doing with that plant. We're taking the water, fill up that account, that root zone reservoir to field capacity. We don't want to saturate it. We want it to fill it to field capacity, and we're going to take it down, but we never want to withdraw more than the readily available moisture before we replenish it. So we have a band of moisture in there, a percent of the moisture in that profile that we can steal away before we have to put back and refill that profile. And that's scheduling. That's the true process of scheduling. So we have to know where that wilting point is, or that stress level, where we run out of readily available moisture so we can refill the profile. So in the soil, we have to know how much water that soil can hold as well. So we have to know its water holding capacity. And of course, a sandy soil is going to give us much more of a problem as far as storing water than will a heavier soil with more silt and more clay. So if we have this soil that is very sandy, we have a limited water holding capacity. It doesn't hold as much in the checkbook, and it has to, you know, it starts down here lower. There's less water stored. So we have a smaller flexibility before we hit that wilting point and have to refill it. And we also have to know what the root zone is for the given plant. As we talked about, the 6-inch turf profile versus a 5-foot, say, alfalfa field or apple orchard would be the two extremes that we go from, turf being the tiniest profile to work from, and a deep-rooted crop like alfalfa would be the maximum profile to work from. So obviously we can wait a long time. We can draw more and more and more and more out on an alfalfa field and go a lot longer period of time before we have to fill her back up. But when we fill her back up, we've got to put a whole bunch in. So it's going to sit there and water a long time. With turf, we're just going to take a little bit out before we have to fill it back up, but it doesn't take very long to fill it back up again. You know, a few minutes a day or an hour or two a day, refilled on the turf, whereas alfalfa, we might let it go for 10 or 12 or 14 days and then take 12 hours to refill it. Just a whole different concept of the same concept, but a whole different need according to the crop and the soil type. The concept's always the same. It's just that we have to live within the parameters of the soil type and the plant type that we're dealing with.